excited to have a familiar face back to KDKA. Sonni Abatta was an anchor here many moons ago, and she's back with us to talk about what she's been up to. Your podcast, We Gotta Talk, combines really your love of journalism with everything else, with family, with health, and a whole lot in between.
Yeah, it was such an exciting project for me because, you know, you work in this business and you understand that there are important issues out there that, you know I want my friends to know about or my peers to know about, but I also didn't want to go just with the heavy, you know, really important topics. So it really gives me an opportunity to talk about the things that matter, but also throw in some fun, superficial, light things as well. So
well, yeah, you were talking about skincare and Botox the other day. I mean, there's stuff that we're all
Live
talking
by the
about.
Botox ladies, yes. Yeah, I mean, why? That's why it is called We Gotta Talk, is on all of these issues, this broad range of issues. I think it's important to get into the details, get into why things matter, why we want to talk and be open and honest about things. And yeah, it's been really, really great to be able to do it.
Your motto is real talk, big topics.
Yes.
So you get into some of these heavier things too. What was your motive for starting the podcast? Did you find this need to want to explore? Was it selfishly something inside of you that you just wanted to know more, curiosity?
Yeah, I mean, curiosity is my most, I don't know, it's the biggest trait that I have. So I'm led by curiosity, and of course, leaving news, I wanted to continue to feed that in a meaningful way. And I found that, you know, having conversations with friends, you know, as we're wont to do, they kind of drifted into like fun things, fashion or pop culture or TV shows, but there was a vacuum in a space for discussions about more important things that matter and things that relate to parenthood or raising kids. And I wanted to sort of provide a spot where parents could go, and it tends to be more women, but you know, where parents can go and, you know, there are experts on the show talking about child safety online and why, you know, you might want to reconsider posting your kids online, or school shootings. We talk about the questions to ask your school administration to make sure your school is safe, all the way through the fun things, like you said, like skincare or wellness, or I did an episode on past lives. I mean, fun stuff.
One of your most popular podcast episodes, you actually turned me to, because we were talking about just how crazy our bodies start to feel at a certain age. It's like all of a sudden you wake up and this flip was switched.
It's insane.
Yeah.
It's insane. Yeah. So hormone episodes are without a doubt always the most listened to. So there is so much attention paid to women as we're trying to get pregnant, when we are pregnant, and in the early years of parenthood. But then your hormones change and you have your children and you're adjusting into, you know, life, and no one talks about 40 plus. So I bring on these amazing doctors and experts and women. I mean, the thirst for knowledge about what is happening with my hormones, how do I test them and make sure that I'm in the right range, has been so intense that I've done this episode 4 years in a row with different experts, and by far it's the most downloaded. They talk about tests, you know, these doctors will talk about tests they do, things you can do at home, and women are hungry for this knowledge. We want real talk. I don't want someone to lie to me and be like, hey, it's gonna be easy after you have your kids. It's not.
It's not. Everything changes internally. And even in your podcast, I thought this was so interesting. A lot of these hormone tests are not covered by your insurance, which is absolutely mind-blowing to me.
It's crazy. It's crazy. And I've seen a trend toward more holistic, sort of integrative care where patients are taking the initiative on their own and going to their doctor and saying, listen, I want to know what's happening with my thyroid and with my hormones. Can I request these tests? And thankfully, there are some services that are popping up that allow people to do that and bring that information to their doctor. So it's cool to see that development too.
So one of your other topics, you talked about skin and your gut.
Yes.
Tell us more about this. I think we actually have a little clip. Take a listen.
Yes, and that's the classic example is kids who had ear infections were given like recurrent doses of antibiotics, you know, throughout their childhood. And now we know that, you know, even just 1 or 2 of those experiences can have, you know, multiple years of impacting your gut microbiome and your immune function.
Yeah, that was Dr. Whitney Bowe. She's this amazing expert. She's on GMA all the time, and I was honored to participate in a trial of her new skincare line, and so we were talking about the importance of gut health and why she formulated her products to sort of address inside health as well as outside skin health. And I was just so honored that she came on and she really broke it down for us. She's behind the whole skin cycling trend on TikTok, so it was really cool to be able to talk to her.
Skin cycling, you probably heard a little bit about it, but it's really interesting. And so much more talk about the gut and our makeup of the gut, how it impacts everything, even to our mental health. Hacking your hormones, this was something else we were talking about, right? And the more serious topics too, like protecting your kids online.
Yeah, I interviewed a woman, and I'm gonna blank on the name because that's just how it works on live TV, but she founded a group, and their goal is to protect kids online and to educate parents about the things they should post and shouldn't post. And I don't want to like scare parents. It's a worthwhile episode to listen to when you talk with people who do the investigative work behind what these predators are looking for online. It is a real wake-up call to close off access, to limit access to smartphones to your kids until a certain age. And so she was fantastic to interview because as a parent, I really want to know what's happening. And she was just an incredible resource. A Child Rescue Coalition, that was what it was called.
Let's listen. We just have a small clip here to play.
The way that we're thinking about child sexual abuse is different now with education out there. We're starting to realize that often ones closest to children are the ones producing this content and trading on it and developing these awful sort of underworlds of content. Can you?
Yeah, I mean, it's worth listening to. I think there's been so much more research about introducing social media to kids too early and the detriment it can do to their mental health.
Yeah,
so a lot to unpack.
Yeah, I'm saying this publicly, so I'm held to it. I'm trying to wait until 9th grade to give my kids a smartphone. There are young people in the studio who are probably laughing at me right now.
Well,
but I'm hoping that's
I was so encouraged by this. There was information that flip phones are coming back, and I'm like, yes, bring it on. Bring it on. I'm so happy about that. Up next, we're going to continue our conversation with Sonni, so don't go anywhere. We're talking about building her brand, finding a balance in life, something we're all searching for. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.